In honor of our beloved Kirby, we are dissecting the ultimate password-grabbing script kiddie payload. No, seriously, you just plug it in and it dumps plain text passwords. That's literally all there is to it. All that and more this time on Hak5.
Hello and welcome to Hak5. My name is Darren Kitchen.
Hello everybody, welcome to the show. My name is Shannon Morse.
It's your weekly dose of Technolist.
And I have
a
bunny face.
I love the bunny face.
I have a bunny face.
Okay.
Can I tell you something?
Yes, please.
The other day I tweeted and I was like, look at these bunnies. And somebody was like, are you pregnant? So apparently bunnies mean pregnancy?
Shannon, whatever you do on the internet, people are like, oh, you're pregnant? Are you like, what else? Obviously, what else could it be?
No, that's called a beer gut. Hold on.
This is what you tuned in for, by the way. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I'm still feeling a little blue about our lost kitten pal.
I am too. That's why I'm cracking jokes.
Yeah.
That's how I deal.
It helps cope, right?
It does.
So,
yes, but thank you for all the kind words. We really appreciate it. And this weekend I went to Hawaii and it kind of gave me a chance to just get away and enjoy nature. I went on a couple of hikes and it was really good for me to just be able to do that.
That's a great grieving process hack. Yeah. Just get out to nature. Actually,
it was really good.
You know what I would say, and that's actually not what we're talking about on the show today, but if as far as like hacking your happiness is concerned, getting out in nature is probably like even, you know, like the number one thing that you can do is like the sun. Like, I don't know, but there's something human about it.
Yeah, vitamins.
Right? Vitamins. Like,
it really does work.
It really does. And I find that the times in my life when I've been like I'm like, you know, I should really like go out in nature and like then I'll feel better about everything. And then I'm like, no, I don't want to get off the couch.
Oh, I don't.
You just kind of have to like.
I just want to sit around and watch Netflix all day and then just like.
And then you're all like.
watch YouTube.
I didn't see any sun. So you just.
It does help.
Yeah, just have to like go with it and just like jump out there and.
And I am not a hiker whatsoever, but I went on 2 hikes this weekend. And if I can do it, anybody can. Because that, I killed myself on that.
Wow.
Jeez, my legs just, whew, they're killing me. My legs
well, the
hurt.
trick is just one step at a time, though. Right?
Yeah,
like,
I was doing like 3
that's the
steps
hack.
at
Like,
a time.
like getting out to the gym, like nobody, like when you think about like the big, and I think this applies to everything, but like it's just as an example, going on the hike, going out to the gym, whatever, you think about like the big picture, like, oh, that sounds exhausting. You know, forget this, especially when I can just like sit on the couch and not.
Yeah.
Then you're like, oh, all I actually need to do is put my gym clothes on. I can do that.
Yeah.
Putting clothes on is easy. So you just do that. And then you're like, oh, now I just need to go downstairs. I've done that a million times. I can go downstairs. And then you do, and you're like, oh, now I just need to like walk on this treadmill. Big deal, I've walked. And then like 30 seconds into it, you're like, oh, I'm doing the thing.
Yeah.
Oh, now I'm in it.
You know what? Those are little wins. Those are easy wins.
Yes.
And anybody can accomplish that.
Hey, let's get some easy wins.
Okay, well, sometimes you just need an easy win, and nothing could be easier than today's Bash Money payload. It's really easy.
It's true.
It's called the Password Grabber, and as the name implies, it grabs passwords from unsuspecting, unlocked machines. So it is written in such a way that it builds on Darren's USB exfiltration payload to invisibly execute lasagna, or lasagna.
I don't know how it's pronounced, so don't ask me.
It's lasagna.
Sure, let's call it lasagna and then have
Italian.
everybody let us know in the comments.
Which itself builds on Key Thief, Mimikatz, and Cred Dump.
So it's building on a thing that builds on a thing that builds on a thing. That's the beauty of it, right?
So the payload itself is specific to Windows, but the tool it runs, which is lasagna, is cross-platform. So it could be adapted as well for Mac or Linux or whatever device that you're trying to run it on. So Darren, I say WTF, what is this thing?
This thing is called, I'm busy doing logistics, getting the launch party for the new thing going, and I need an easy win, and I'm kind of feeling blue.
Hak5.org for information on that.
I'm gonna just choose an easy one because this is a crowd pleaser. Who doesn't love plain text passwords?
I love plain text passwords.
So I just figured like, hey, let's take a look at this awesome tool here because this payload employs it, and it's a really ridiculously sweet tool that you should have in your arsenal, and it's called lasagna. Okay, fine, we're calling it that. Right, and basically it's an open source application to retrieve lots of passwords. That's it. Okay. So I've got this this Windows box set up here, and we're gonna test it out on this.
I think that's a Dell XPS 15 that we're gonna review on TechThing.
Oh, is this a review unit for TechThing? No, seriously, Shannon, is this what it is?
I'm pretty sure it is.
Okay, because I just went over to Patrick Norton and I was like, hey, you got a Windows box I can like test?
And he was like, sure, here you go.
Yeah, okay, well anyway.
We wipe all of them anyway afterwards.
Okay, you're not like sending it back to Dell and Dell's gonna send it to another, because we might just be putting like viruses up on this, like I don't even know. Just saying. I wasn't going to test this on my machine, and I couldn't be effed to spin up a VM. I literally broke out my ePC.
You still have that thing?
Yeah, by the way, this is like the cutest and coolest PC ever.
Wow.
It's called an ePC. It's from 2007, and it runs, oh, it died. It runs Windows XP. Service Pack 2. I love this thing. It's a Celeron 900 underclocked to 600.
Okay, so anyway.
Anyway, the point is, we'll get to why I'm not. I would otherwise be doing this in a VM. But essentially, this tool retrieves lots of password by using, building on the shoulders of giants. It uses parts of key thief and mimikatz and cred dump. So what you end up getting is basically plain text passwords for all of these different programs. Be it browsers like Chrome and Firefox and IE, or chat programs like Skype, and sysadmin tools like FileZilla, which I love, and WinSCP, which is great for Windows and all of that jazz. And you can see how it works. Basically, you run it with like all, and then tack ON for the output format for normal TXT, and you get an output of all the stuff.
And you get it into a text file.
This screenshot is literally what you're gonna get. You hit that, and then boom, like here's a username, here's a password, there's a URL. Like it's that.
That's cool.
Stupid simple, and sometimes like right now, where I am right now, I just want stupid simple. I want easy. I have a stripper friend who's got this amazing quote, which is sometimes what? She's a stripper and she's a friend, and she's got this amazing quote, and she's like, sometimes I just want boys to drive me around and buy me drinks. And I get that. Who doesn't want that?
Yeah, I want boys to drive me around and get me drinks. Closed beverages, preferably.
Right?
Okay, so anyway.
Bring subs along.
So how do we actually get this?
Okay, so that's why I bring up the fact that I'm using some, spare machine, or would otherwise be testing this in a VM.
Yeah.
Because again, with the whole, I think laziness might be the theme of the episode. Can't be effed to compile this from source. And if you go over to GitHub, you will find here the beautiful source for this wonderful executable that you just need to run and get passwords, or you can grab standalone releases from right here.
Oh, beautiful.
And you can just download a zip file, and
it's already compiled for you.
Yay, right? And then, man, I haven't used Edge ever. I don't think I've ever used this browser.
Oh, weird.
Anyway, you do that.
Why are you using? Is that Edge?
Because it's what came with the box. This is a brand new machine. In lieu of using a VM. Because otherwise, I don't know who compiled this. I mean, obviously this was uploaded by Alessandros Z, who is probably a fantastic person, and I'm sure this isn't like nefarious malware, other than the nefarious malware that it already is, which is a password dumping tool. I don't think it's gonna upload my creds to some person, but in case that's what it does, I would want to not run this on my production box. I would rather run it in a VM. So I'm just being lazy and actually doing it in bare metal, which makes it easier to demo anyway. Okay, so we all know how to install exe and all that good stuff. Yeah. Yeah. So has this been adapted to the Bash Bunny? Because I'm assuming that's why we're talking about it. That's kind of like the vague ploy in which we have been talking about these sorts of tools. Yeah. It's the thin guys, but let's take a look. So essentially, we have a payload here from Razorblade who adapted some of my code from the USB. Hey, Razorblade, what's up? Right? And hey, creds where creds are due. That's awesome. Building on the shoulders of giants, although that's what we all do. It's fantastic. And basically, this leverages lasagna, and it's a stupid simple payload. Copy paste, and away you go. It goes green when the attack is complete, as it were. But essentially, it uses the same techniques that I've done in the past with the USB exfiltrator payload, which invisibly in the background runs a little bit of PowerShell, which does an Xcopy to nab documents from your My Documents folder and save them back to the USB disk on the Bash Bunny. Okay. So this takes advantage of that by, instead of doing an Xcopy, you can see what it does. The payload.txt is stupid, small, and simple. It's literally, the scroll is inverted on this. LED attack, right? And then it sets the attack mode to hidden storage, and then runs Windows PowerShell. This bit of PowerShell. All this PowerShell does is find the Bash Bunny and run in the switch position d.cmd. Oh, nice. And you use the switch position variable, yeah. Yeah, cool. And that's done for you when you do the run win. So that's nice, and then it does an LED finish. So really, the finish LED doesn't actually tell you that the payload completed. It just tells you that I got to the next line, right? So there's some.
Oh, interesting.
Then the next thing it does is it runs that d.cmd here, which if you take a look is just a little bit of PowerShell that uses a C script, i.vbs, to invisibly run e.cmd. And we've covered this in the past, but essentially what's going to happen is e.cmd runs in the background without a window popping up.
Oh, right.
Beautifully, invisibly, Bob's your uncle.
Yeah.
And what does that e.cmd do, you might ask? Well, this is literally my exact payload, except the parts that X copy right here, that copy your documents, have been remmed out. And instead, we've got some nice additions here at the top, which is literally to execute lasagna.
Oh, wow.
And then it does it such that it does lasagna all, and then outputs with a single waka to a loot directory, which has got the computer's name and date and time and such, with underscore passwords, .txt.
Okay, so that's the name of the file that it's creating.
That's it.
Wow, that's so easy.
It's stupid simple, but hey, it gets the job done, right?
Okay, well, in that case, I think we should see it in action.
Okay, so
Make it do the thing.
Make it do the thing, indeed. I've already copied the payload. Literally, this is a copy pasta kind of episode. So just put it in switch position 1. I'll just minimize everything to the desktop there. I'll plug it in. You can see here, that's blinking green. Go back to a computer screen. And the attack just started blinking yellow or amber. And there we go, pulls up the run line, a little bit of PowerShell, and it's gone. Okay, cool.
And it
so
just
now,
disappears.
let's imagine I've unplugged it because the light turned green, it's a hack machine, and I'm gonna go to my hacker box here and plug it in and check out the loot.
Okay.
Okay, so we're gonna pretend this is my hacker machine, and I'll just pull up Explorer. And head over to the Bash Bunny, and under the loot folder, we have, you can see I've run this numerous times, the passwords folder. Although, interestingly, it actually creates a USB exfiltration folder with another folder for the desktop, for the computer's name and the timestamp, but it doesn't actually save it in there. It saves them all to loot.
Saves it in the loot folder.
Yeah,
That's
there's
funny.
It needs a fix or two, but you can see what you end up with. And that's what you end up with.
That's cool.
Yeah. Now there's jack all on this machine. I mean,
Of course.
if there were Wi-Fi creds and saved passwords in the browsers,
It would be able to pick up all that stuff and save it for you.
it's going to get whatever lasagna is going to get outright.
That's so cool.
But it just automates the process.
And this isn't while you're like creating new accounts and typing them in. It's whatever's being stored locally on that computer, correct?
Yeah.
Got it.
That's the idea.
That's so cool. That's literally like agent proof, as you like to say. Anybody could use this.
Yeah.
Just copy and paste.
There you go.
You could give it to your CSR.
I figured, I was like, we could either do a Netcat segment as an homage to Kirby, or we could do a Script Kitty segment, and she was introduced on the show on season 1, episode 1 or 2.
Yeah, as
Script Kitty.
Script Kitty.
Hey, this gets the job done.
But I'm assuming that it probably doesn't have, it probably has some kind of flaws. So what would you say as far as making it better, other than the obvious, which is sticking the password file inside of the password directory?
Yeah, instead of the folder, because
instead of the loot folder.
Because these guys should be
unless you just want them all in the loot
in
folder.
there. Yeah, I guess. I mean, the text files are named with the name of the, the name of the computer and the timestamp. So I guess they don't need to be in their own individual folders. And actually, that brings up a good point. I wouldn't create a new folder for each. And this is actually kind of the meat and potatoes of this episode. I really wanted to, or the tempeh and potatoes if you're vegan. I wanted to talk about like ways to take this from cool Script Kitty payload that just kind of works to what would it be that would actually make this a really robust payload, right? Something that would be fault tolerant. Okay, so one of the things that I thought about, and I'm just really spitballing ideas here, I haven't actually implemented these, but I want to encourage some implementation because we can reward that and then make the whole repository better for everybody. So if you're watching at home and you have some ideas or can pick up on some of these, let's see some Git commits. The idea here would be that right now, when you run this, it just changes the LED to amber when blinking when it's attacking, and then green when it finishes the attack. But it actually doesn't know that the attack completed successfully. If you think back to when
it just goes to the next line.
Yeah. One of the payloads that I demonstrated when we very first launched this guy here, if I go into the library, is a recon payload called Rdp Checker. And one of the things about this payload is that it gives you a fail status if it failed to get to dependencies. It gives you a failed status if RDP was not enabled, and a green success if RDP is. And it actually knows by doing a little bit of checking here, and it runs this against the target, and then it actually checks the thing. So it says if, and then it greps for the word granted out of that file. And so if the word granted was there, it does an LED green success, and if it wasn't, then it does an LED fail.
Oh.
I feel like this is the perfect payload that could take advantage of that, where to make it actually agent-proof, where you're like, hey, give it to somebody that doesn't have hacker skills, but has social engineering skills, that has the ability to get into a place and plug in a thing.
Oh, that's cool.
And then they know, oh, cool, the light turned green.
Right.
I'm good to leave the facility, or light was red, I'll try another machine.
Yeah.
Right?
That's a good idea.
So you could probably do that pretty easily by doing a little bit of intelligence of saying, doing an LS or whatever. There's numerous ways to check this, but I would check the loot folder from the perspective of the bash bunny right after this runs.
That's
and
a
then
good
check
idea.
for a new file. And if there's a new file and it contains, I don't know, passwords, or if it's what you're expecting, then you can have pretty good confidence. Oh, hey, a log file was created, green. Hey, it's been a while and no log files, red. Or just stay red until there's a log file. So then you could just be like, oh, well, wait until there goes green.
There's a lot of
and it never
variances
does.
that you could do depending on what exactly you're looking for with this.
Yeah. That's kind of
like it.
the idea here, is I want to encourage that kind of further development on this.
Absolutely.
In fact, one of the things that I found was on this particular Windows box, which is just like a fresh Windows 10 box.
Yeah.
Is it still there? Let's see. If I go into, so this is run on this machine, and it created that the loot. But if I go back to the switch one, you'll notice it's gone. That lasagna.exe. I actually have a copy of it here.
What?
Right here.
Why?
Yeah, so
Why did it disappear?
Windows Defender, right? So I'll just
Really?
I'll just place it back in its place, right? And actually, we'll just go ahead and execute this and go to, I don't know, what is it? The D drive under Payloads, and it's in switch one, and there it is.
Okay.
And I go ahead and run that, and it's gonna, give me the output and all of those things,
It'll
right?
do its thing.
It'll do its little thing. Actually, it's like, hey, couldn't execute that, and now it's gone.
What?
Yeah. So
Windows Defender actually works?
in this case, it did. However, it
funny.
did run the first time, and then actually, look, my copy of it is still there.
That's so funny.
One of the things that I would do is I would either use read-only storage and then exfiltrate the data through another means like SMB attacks.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Or spinning up an SMB server on here, you could just copy the file that way. And I've already demonstrated that you can copy and paste the code out of the SMB exfiltration payload. And then by using, and this is a storage, this is actually a attack mode we haven't discussed in the past. It's RO_storage. Excuse me, sorry.
Read-only storage.
Exactly.
Okay.
So the idea is like it wouldn't actually be able to delete the file.
Oh.
Yeah, right? Because it would be almost
Smart.
like a CD-ROM.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. ROM, read-only
funny.
memory. So
Cool.
yeah, I think that would be one way. Or you could just have a check, and then if it gets deleted, literally the Bash Bunny could self-heal it by keeping a copy on its Linux side, on its /root or wherever you want to store it, and then check to see if the evil malware executable is there, and if it's suddenly not anymore, you just make another copy.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
Such a troll.
I know. So I need to do
All
those
right.
things.
So we're gonna hook him up with
you guys
something.
could.
We're gonna hook up the author.
Absolutely. Razor Blade.
Yeah.
I want to say.
Razor Blade.
Razor Blade is like Zero Cool's best friend. Actually, Zero Cool is a really cool guy.
Zero Cool.
Which
Yeah,
is
totally.
the craziest thing. Like,
Zero Cool is awesome.
Zero Cool is awesome. So yes, Razor Blade. We're gonna hook him up with a $100 gift certificate to get some
Cool.
Hak5 gear, whatever you'd like.
Yeah, and thank
as
you to
we've been
everybody
doing.
who has been developing payloads for the Bash Bunny. We've been having so much community development, so it's really awesome to see everybody working together on that.
Yeah, I know. The
very
forums
cool.
are buzzing. It's good stuff.
It's great. I love it. I think that about wraps up this episode, right?
Yeah.
Are we
this
done?
is just kind of like a riff-in one because we got to get to San Francisco and lock down this venue.
Yes, we do.
I wish that we had the detail. We'll have to do an insert. So if we
Okay.
do have details on the meetup, they would be right now. This is the part of the show where I want to invite you all out on October 20th to come to our big ol' Hak5 gear event. We are launching 3 new cool devices, and I'd love to see you there. It's going to be in San Francisco at 7 p.m. at Chaos, and you can find all the details on how to RSVP over at a convenient URL. It's hak5.org/RSVP. Hope to see you there. Shannon, go wide. That's not me throwing you a football. That's actually like technical direction. No, seriously, go wide.
I'm just going to hold it.
Why are you doing that? Shannon, I'm trying to make a joke here.
Just going to hold it.
You just...
Yeah, I'm just going to leave it there.
She's such a party pooper.
I know.
You know you can... Why do these arcade buttons not work?
I turned them off. Ha 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 ha.
Okay. See? Brilliant.
Beautiful.
I love that.
Great job,
You guys
Darren.
are the best.
Yeah. So if you want to find out more, of course, you can go over to hak5.org. That is where we will have the event details. And you can also find all of our different shows that we do over there as well, including Tech Thing, Hacktop.
Hacktop. Actually, that's the name of this computer.
That's true, it is. Hacktip, Threatwire, Snubs Report,
Metasploit
Minute.
We're good at this.
Geared, all the things. Yes, all
Can you
the
tell
things.
it's a Friday? Okay.
It's not a Friday, it's a Wednesday, don't lie.
Oh, we gotta do this for 2 more days.
Don't hit the button.
Okay, I will find the motivation to carry on.
Thank you again to everybody who sent well wishes over the socials. Really appreciate it. And you know, we're coping and we're strong and we'll continue. And Kirby lives on in our hearts.
And on Wi-Fi pineapples.
And on Wi-Fi pineapples forever.
And maybe we'll make some payloads that change people's wallpapers to Kirby with the bash
That's a
bunny
really
and
good
the
idea.
rubber ducky. Find some way to use a land turtle and a packet squirrel to
Just
inject
troll
some
people with Kirby.
Kirby packets. I don't know. I say
like
we
it.
just keep it going.
I think that's a great idea.
Yeah.
If you want to support us directly, you can do that over at hakshop.com. That's where you can find all of our Wi-Fi pineapples and bash bunnies and land turtles and our entire farm of amazing animals.
Cute little animals.
Very cute animals.
And fruit.
Like bunnies.
Okay, with all of that, I'm Darren Kitchen.
I'm Shannon Morse.
Trust your technologist. If you've got a great idea, you should do what Shannon and I do and head over to domain.com and register your domain. Bring it over to the internet using this super awesome discovery system that brings domains from your mind onto the web over at domain.com. They've got a quick and easy checkout process, and they've been supporting Hak5 for years. You can also tweet at them at domain.com and say, hey, thanks for hooking up the guys, and they've got a special treat just for you. You get to save 20% off at checkout over at domain.com using the super secret coupon code. It's HAK5. It spells Hak5, and it's just between you and I, all right? Don't tell anyone. Okay, you can tell people. When you think domain names, think domain.com. Hello and welcome to Hak5. My
Cold
name's...
open!
Oh, that's what we're supposed to do. Okay, let me switch to your camera.
I'm a squirrel.
Oh, snubs. What am I gonna do with you?
Just feed me before midnight.
Right?
And you'll be just fine.